Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, so right now you probably all already know that the CPI data is in, and it's quite shocking because it's not as high as they was estimating that it would be. Most people were saying it probably was going to be like a 0.6, but right now it's about 0.4. So inflation is up about 0.4. And let's jump into the computer right now to see more about this data and go over some of these data numbers from the CPI. Right now, the market is reacting to the CPI data. A lot of stocks that was dumping, especially after election day, on election day, a lot of the stocks was dumping like crazy. But right now, a lot of those stocks are rebounding. It's like a little rally, bear market rally. So let's get into the computer and look at these CPI data more.
So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we got the CPI data here. And consumer price index for all urban consumers rose about 4.4% in October on a seasonal adjusted basis, the same increase as in September. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today that over the last 12 months, all items in the index increased 7.7% before a seasonal adjustment. The index for shelter contributed over half of the monthly all items increase, with the index for gasoline and food also increasing. But remember, the index for gasoline and food was not included in the overall index CPI numbers. The energy index increased 1.8% over the month of the gasoline index, and the electricity index rose about natural gas index decreased. So electricity index rose, but the natural gas went down. It's going to be very interesting for the winter months. So we got to keep an eye on that. The food index increased by 0.6% over the months, with the food at home index rising by 0.4%. Wow, so eating at home, grocery shopping definitely has rise, and we have to keep an eye out for this. The index for all items, less food, energy rose 0.3% in October after rising 0.6% in September. The index for shelter, motor vehicle insurance, recreation, new vehicles, and personal care were among those that increased over the months. Wow. Index which declined in October included the used cars and trucks, medical care, appear in airlines fares index. So that's good. That means airline tickets went down, used cars and trucks price went down, but for the new ones it went up. The all items index increased 7.7% for 12 months ending in October. So that's put us at the 7.7% inflation rate for the month of October. Well, for the month of October. And this is the smallest 12-month increase since the period ended in January 22nd. Since ending in January 2022, the all items less food energy index rose 6.3% over the 12 months. The energy index increased 17.6% over the 12 months ending October, and the food index increased 10.9% over the last year. Wow, all of the increase were smaller than for the period ending in September. So here's a chart of a breakdown of how the things are looking over the past months. So as you can see from last year, October, that's when we really start to see inflation going up. And then it went down for the winter months, but still at a steady pace. But still it was increasing at a steady pace. For the summer months, for July, August, it went down. Because you know, they had a lot of, the Federal Reserve was doing a lot of increase with the interest rates, the basis points. They was doing like 0.5, 0.75% increase, which is like 50 basis points and 75 basis points. So that's how you have these right here, where July and August was so low. In September and October, they're about the same. So more charts for the CPI index right here, and this is, you have the breakdown. All items will be at 7.7%. Then you have food, which is not in the overall data. So the food index increased 0.6% in October, follows a 0.8 increase in September. Wow. The food at home index rose 0.4% in October, the smallest monthly increase index since December 2021. So that's kind of a good news. 4 of the 6 major grocery store food groups index increased over the months. The index for other food at home increased 0.9% in October after rising 0.5% in September. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs rose 0.6% over the months, while the index for cereal and bakery products increased 0.8% in October. The index of non-alcoholic beverage rose 0.5% in October after rising 0.6% last month. Contrast, the index for fruits and vegetables fell 0.9% over the months after increasing 1.6% in September. The index for fresh fruit fell 2.4%, and the index for fresh vegetables fell about 0.5%. The index for dairy and related products also declined in October, falling 0.1%. The food away from home index rose 0.9% in October, as did in August and September. So in a way, I think either they want to cut people back from eating out more, so instead of going to the fast food restaurant, because it seemed like the prices in those food away from home rose 0.9%. That's almost 1%. So that's about 90 basis points in October, as it did in October, August, and September. So the last 3 months, eating out at restaurants and stuff like that has increased, and that because of the productivity. The restaurants have to charge more for the groceries that they buy, or they get charged more for the groceries that they buy. The products, wages and stuff had increased, so definitely gonna have to increase the percentage of costs to offset stuff. So the index for full service meal increased 1.1%. See, there you go. That's, the waitress and stuff like that. And the index for limited service meals increased 0.8% over the month. The food at home index rose 12.4% over the last month. See, so even eating at home, cooking your own meal and stuff like that, meal prepping, even that itself also increased. And like you see, it's 12.4%. And they don't include that in the overall CPI data, because if they included that in the overall CPI data, the inflation number instead of 7.7 would be way much higher. So it rose 15.5%. The remaining major grocery store food groups posted increase ranging from 8.0% meats, poultry, fish, eggs, to 15.4% other foods at home. Let's read that again. The food at home index rose 12.4% over the last 12 months. The index for cereal and bakery products, which most people usually buy and consume, increased 15.9% over the year. And the index for dairy-related products increased by 15.5%. So that's milk, cheese, eggs, increased by 15.5% over the year. The remaining major grocery store food groups posted increase ranging from 8.0%, that's meats, poultry, fish, eggs, to 15.4% other food at home. The index of food away from home rose 8.6% over the last year. The index for full service, we already did that. Wow. So let's discuss the energy. Energy index increased 1.8% in October after falling in the preceding 3 months. So the gasoline index rose 4% over the month. Remember now, it fell over the last 3 months in the summer months, and now it's up 4%. Also following the 3 consecutive declines. Before seasonal adjustment, gasoline prices rose 3.1% in October. The electricity index also increased over the month, rising 0.1%. However, the index for natural gas decreased in October, falling 4.6% after increasing 2.9% in September. So the next data that will be coming out in December, I think December 13th, we definitely got to look out for that and see how the energy prices are and the increase in the energy. The energy index rose 17.6% over the past 12 months. The gasoline index increased 17.5% over the span, and the fuel oil index rose 68.5%. The index for electricity rose 14.1% over the last 12 months, and index for natural gas increased 20% over the same period. Wow, so we definitely got to keep an eye on energy, ladies and gentlemen. So that's be the CPI report. If you want more, you can go on to bls.gov. That's bls.gov, and you can have the whole CPI data, the breakdown, what different things cost. They have different charts, the breakdown of food costs, deodorant costs, energy costs, all other items, apparels, clothing, transportation service. So all that information is broken down into the CPI report for the month of October, and you can once again get that on bls.gov. So once again, it's Ainsley D. Hope you got some value out of this, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.